Oh my goodness. The energy coming through right now is absolutely shaking me to my core. I had to sit down with these cards immediately because what spirit is showing me about this connection, it's devastating, it's raw, and it's happening right now today, this very morning. Someone is completely falling apart because of you. I'm talking trembling hands, racing heart, the kind of panic that wakes you up at 3 a.m. and won't let you breathe. This person finally sees it. They finally understand what they've lost, and the realization is tearing them apart from the inside out. Before we dive deep into this reading, I need you to understand something crucial. Only take what resonates with you. If this message isn't for you, let it pass by. But if you feel that flutter in your chest, that knowing, then this is absolutely meant for you. Trust your intuition. Trust what spirit is revealing. I'm pulling 3 cards today, and I need to tell you, the moment I laid them out, I felt chills run through my entire body. The universe is speaking loudly, clearly, and with such intensity. This is about a terrible tragedy unfolding in someone's world right now, and you are the earthquake that shattered their entire foundation. Let me show you what the cards are saying. The 3 cards before me are the Tower, the Eight of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Do you see this? Do you feel the weight of this combination? The Tower is literally this person's world crumbling. The Eight of Cups is you walking away with such strength and clarity. And the Ace of Swords, oh, this is the brutal truth cutting through every single lie they told themselves. Let me tell you what I'm seeing here because this is so much more intense than I initially thought. The Tower card is sitting in the position of his current state, and I need you to understand what this means. This isn't just a little discomfort. This isn't just missing you on a quiet Sunday afternoon. No, no, no. This is complete and utter destruction. Everything he thought he knew, everything he convinced himself was true, every single illusion he built around letting you go or pushing you away, it's all crumbling. And I mean violently crumbling. The tower doesn't fall gently, it doesn't give warnings, it strikes like lightning in the middle of the night, and suddenly everything you thought was solid ground becomes quicksand beneath your feet. Since this morning, Spirit is showing me he woke up and something shifted. Maybe he had a dream about you. Maybe he saw something that reminded him of what you two shared. Maybe he heard a song, smelled a scent, or maybe he just finally allowed himself to feel the full weight of your absence and it hit him like a freight train. I'm seeing him physically shaking. His hands are trembling as he holds his coffee cup. His breath is short and shallow. That panic in his chest that he can't quite name but feels like drowning on dry land. This is what the tower brings, the absolute shattering of false security. What did he think? That he could just move on? That you were replaceable? That what you shared was ordinary? Oh, the arrogance, the sheer foolishness of it all. And now karma, beautiful divine karma, is showing him exactly what he's lost. You were never just another person in his life. You were the catalyst. You were the mirror that reflected back everything he needed to see about himself. And instead of doing the inner work, instead of rising to meet you at your level, he ran. He sabotaged. He chose comfort over growth. He chose his ego over your connection. And now he's paying the price. The Eight of Cups in the center position is you, my dear. And I have to say, I'm so incredibly proud of the energy I'm feeling from you right now. This card shows someone walking away from a situation that no longer serves them, even when it's hard, even when part of you wanted to stay and fix it, even when you loved this person so deeply that leaving felt like cutting off a part of yourself, but you did it anyway. You chose yourself. You chose your peace. You chose your future over a past that was killing you slowly. Do you know how much strength that takes? Do you know how rare that is? Spirit is showing me that you didn't just walk away physically, you walked away emotionally, you walked away energetically. You've been doing the work, you've been healing, you've been reclaiming your power piece by piece, day by day. And while he was over there thinking you'd come back, thinking you'd break, thinking you'd reach out, you were actually building a whole new life, a life where you're not waiting by the phone, a life where you're not checking his social media, a life where you're not shrinking yourself to fit into his limited vision of who you should be. And here's what's eating him alive right now. He can feel it. Even if you haven't spoken in weeks or months, he can feel your energy shifting away from him. He can feel that you're no longer tethered to him emotionally. It's like he was holding onto an invisible rope connected to your heart. And suddenly that rope has been cut and he's free falling into the realization that you're actually gone, not physically gone, energetically gone. And that, my love, is what's shaking him to his core this morning. The Ace of Swords is the truth cutting through everything. And let me tell you, this truth is sharp. It's brutal. It's the kind of clarity that makes you want to look away, but you can't because it's so bright, so undeniable. This card represents the mental breakthrough he's having, but it's not a pleasant one. It's the sword of realization piercing through every excuse he made, every justification he created for why things ended the way they did, every story he told himself about how you were the problem, or how the timing wasn't right, or how he needed to focus on himself. All of those lies, because that's what they were, lies he told himself to avoid facing his own fears and shortcomings. They're being cut away by this sword of truth. And what's left is just the raw, unbearable reality. He fumbled the best thing that ever happened to him. He had someone who saw him, really saw him, and loved him anyway. Someone who was willing to grow with him, build with him, stand by him. And he threw it away. Whether it was because of pride, fear, immaturity, outside influences, or his own unhealed wounds, he made a choice. And now he's living with the consequences of that choice. I'm hearing from spirit that this person is also seeing you differently now. It's like the fog has lifted and he's seeing you for who you truly are, not the diminished version he created in his mind to make himself feel better about losing you. He's seeing your value. He's seeing your light. He's seeing everything you brought to his life that he took for granted. The way you supported him, the way you believed in him, the way you loved him even when he didn't love himself. All of it is flooding back to him with crystal clear clarity, and it's torture. There's something else coming through that I need to share with you. The cards are showing me that he's also becoming aware that you might be moving forward with someone else, or at the very least, you're open to it. You're not sitting in your room crying over him anymore. You're not writing unsent letters or rehearsing conversations you'll never have. You're actually living, you're actually healing. And the thought that someone else might get to experience your love, your loyalty, your magic, someone who will actually appreciate it this time, it's killing him. This is the tragedy, you see, not that he lost you because he made that choice. The tragedy is that he's only now understanding what that loss actually means. It's the difference between knowing something intellectually and feeling it in every cell of your body. He knew you were special, but now he feels it. He knew he messed up, but now he understands the magnitude of that mistake. He knew you were hurt, but now he's experiencing a fraction of that pain himself, and it's unbearable. Spirit wants me to tell you something very important right now, so please listen carefully. This awakening he's having, this terrible tragedy he's experiencing, it's not your responsibility to fix. It's not your job to go back and soothe his pain or give him another chance just because he's finally seeing clearly. This is his journey. This is his karma. This is what needed to happen for him to grow, and whether he actually does the work or just wallows in regret is entirely up to him. You have already played your part in his life. You were the catalyst for his awakening, the mirror for his truth, the consequence of his actions. That's complete now. The cards are also showing me very clearly that there is no going back to what was that version of the relationship. That dynamic, that energy, it's dead. It died the moment you made the decision to choose yourself. It died when you walked away. And even if, hypothetically, there was ever to be any form of reconnection in the future, it would have to be with an entirely new version of him. Not the man who took you for granted, not the man who ran from intimacy, not the man who chose his ego over your connection. An entirely transformed, healed, self-aware version who has done years of inner work and proven through consistent action that he's become someone worthy of the love you have to give. And here's the thing, the cards aren't even showing me that as a likely outcome. What I'm seeing is you continuing to move forward. I'm seeing you stepping into a future that's so much brighter than anything you experienced in the past. I'm seeing expansion, joy, new opportunities, and yes, possibly new love with someone who's actually ready for you. Someone who doesn't need to lose you to appreciate you. Someone who sees your worth from day one and treats you accordingly. This reading isn't about giving you hope for reconciliation. Let me be very clear about that. This is about validation. This is about confirmation. This is about you knowing that your decision to walk away was absolutely the right one, even if it was the hardest thing you've ever done. This is about you understanding that his awakening, his regret, his suffering, none of that is a sign that you should go back. It's actually a sign that karma is real, that the universe has your back, and that justice is being served. I keep hearing spirit say the word closure over and over again. This is your closure, not the closure that comes from a final conversation or an apology or an explanation, but the closure that comes from knowing deep in your soul that you made the right choice. The closure that comes from understanding that he's finally experiencing the consequences of his actions. The closure that comes from recognizing that you are no longer energetically bound to his chaos, his confusion, his inability to show up for you the way you deserved. There's also a message coming through about your own transformation. While he's over there falling apart, you're being rebuilt, stronger, wiser, more aligned with who you truly are. Every tear you cried washed away an old belief that you weren't enough. Every sleepless night brought you closer to your own inner strength. Every moment of doubt that you pushed through expanded your capacity for self love. You didn't just survive losing him, you evolved because of it. And that evolution is permanent. That's yours to keep forever. The energy around you right now is so protective, so loving, so supportive. Your guides, your angels, the universe itself, they're all celebrating your courage. They're celebrating your strength. They're celebrating the fact that you chose yourself when it would have been so much easier to settle, to go back to accept crumbs. You broke a cycle, not just for you, but probably a generational cycle. You set a new standard for what you will and won't accept. And that ripple effect is going to impact every relationship you have from this point forward. So when you feel that little tug of sympathy for him, when you hear through the grapevine that he's struggling, when you sense his energy reaching out to yours, I need you to remember this reading. Remember that his suffering is not yours to carry. Remember that his awakening came too late. Remember that you are not responsible for managing his emotions or making him feel better about the choices he made. Your responsibility is to yourself. Your responsibility is to keep moving forward, keep healing, keep growing, keep becoming the highest version of yourself. This terrible tragedy that's unfolding in his world right now is actually a beautiful confirmation in yours. It's proof that you were never crazy for feeling what you felt. You were never asking for too much. You were never too sensitive or too intense or too anything. You were simply giving your love to someone who wasn't capable of receiving it properly, and now he's awake enough to see exactly what that means. But that awakening doesn't change your path. It doesn't redirect your journey. If anything, it confirms that you're exactly where you need to be, moving forward, not backward. So here we are at the end of this incredibly intense reading, and I just need to take a moment because the energy is still so heavy around me. I can feel the weight of this situation, the depth of this transformation, and the power of what you've done by choosing yourself. If you've made it this far in this reading, if every word has resonated with you like a bell ringing in your soul, then this message was absolutely meant for you. And I hope you feel seen. I hope you feel validated. I hope you feel held by spirit right now. This terrible tragedy that's happening in his world since this morning, this shaking and trembling and complete collapse of everything he thought he knew, it's not your problem to solve. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. It is not your problem to solve. Your job is done. You loved him, you showed up, you gave him opportunities to choose you, to meet you where you were, to do the work. and he didn't. He chose differently. And now he gets to live with that choice while you get to live free from the weight of trying to fix someone who wasn't ready to be fixed. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. Breathe in your power. Breathe in your worth. Breathe in the absolute certainty that you are exactly where you're meant to be. And as you breathe out, release any guilt you might be carrying. Release any doubt. Release any part of you that still wonders if you should have stayed or tried harder or been more patient. You did enough. You were enough. You are enough. The three cards we pulled today told a complete story. The Tower showed his world falling apart. The Eight of Cups showed your brave journey away from what no longer served you. And the Ace of Swords showed the brutal truth cutting through all illusions. This is a story of endings and beginnings. His chapter is ending in chaos and regret. Your chapter is beginning in clarity and strength. And those two stories don't need to intersect anymore. As you move forward from this moment, I want you to hold on to the knowing that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Every step you took away from him was a step toward yourself, toward your peace, toward your future, toward a love that won't require you to diminish yourself or question your worth or beg to be chosen. You are being prepared for something so much better, so much healthier, so much more aligned with who you're becoming. And if he does reach out, if he does try to come back with promises of change and declarations of realization, I want you to remember this reading. Remember that real change takes time, consistency, and proof. Remember that words are easy, but actions tell the truth. Remember that you don't owe him another chance just because he's finally hurting the way you hurt. Remember that your heart is precious and it deserves to be protected, especially by you. Thank you so much for being here with me today, for trusting me with your energy, for being open to this message from Spirit. If this resonated with you, I'm sending you so much love and strength as you continue on your journey. You are not alone in this. You are supported, you are guided, you are loved, and most importantly, you are free. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Sending you all my love and light. Blessed be.